Top floor views, city underneath my feet. Every window shines, but none of them belong to me. Got the cars downstairs, got the money in the bank. Everything I dreamed about still feels a little fake. People see the lifestyle, think I'm living like a king, but nobody sees the silence waiting when the night begins. I got everything except the one thing I really wanted. This penthouse ain't a home. These walls don't love me back. Marble floors, golden lights, still can't cover what I lack. I traded us for everything. Now everything feels wrong. I'm living in a penthouse, but I've never felt so gone. Nobody's waiting for me. Halftime rhythm, kitchen's full, but I eat alone. California king bed feels colder than before. Every room echoes, every hallway. No success got louder while love got quiet. I used to rush home, now I just arrive. This penthouse ain't a home. These walls don't love me back. Ooh. Marble floors, golden lights, still can't cover what I lack. I traded us for everything. Now everything feels wrong. I'm living in a penthouse, but I've never felt so gone. Funny thing about success, nobody tells you the top floor gets lonely when the only person you wanted beside you stopped calling years ago. Penthouse ain't a home. It's just an expensive place to miss you. Every city light outside looks like a memory now. I got the dream, but lost the reason I wanted it. $1,000,000 view, empty heart. Empty heart. You look different tonight, not older, just softer somehow. Like life finally taught us both the things we used to fight about. We sat across from each other laughing like strangers with familiar souls, and For the first time in years, being around you didn't hurt immediately. Funny how maturity arrives right after love leaves. If we met later, maybe we would've lasted. Now we both know how to listen, how to stay instead of running away. You learned patience, I learned how to communicate, but timing has a cruel sense of humor, 'cause we became perfect for each other after we stopped belonging together. You told me about your new apartment, I talked about therapy and slowing down. We smiled at the versions of ourselves that used to destroy what we loved. Back then we were too emotional, too afraid, too proud to bend. Now we finally understand love, but with different people beside us. Maybe some relationships exist not to last forever, but to teach two people how to love correctly later on. So tonight we hug goodbye gently, without trying to rewrite the past, 'cause deep down we both understood missing someone doesn't always mean returning. And as you walked away, smiling, I realized something heartbreaking. Sometimes the right person simply arrives at the wrong chapter of your Back then I thought love was easy, just show up and it'll stay. I didn't know the little things mattered, the text, the listening, the words you needed me to say. You asked for my attention, I gave you my excuses. You asked for my time, I gave you tomorrow, never realizing tomorrow was running out. I thought you'd always be there, and that was my biggest mistake. I learned how to love you right after I lost you. Funny how life teaches lessons when there's nobody left to practice on. Now I know how to communicate, how to stay when things get hard, but all this growth came too late, because the person who taught me is already gone. Now I notice every detail, the things I used to ignore. I know how important reassurance is. I know silence can hurt. I know I'm fine doesn't always mean fine, and leave me alone sometimes means please stay. But wisdom arrived after the goodbye. Some people become teachers without ever meaning to. I learned how to love you the moment I couldn't anymore. Now every relationship after you, it's a better version of me. And sometimes that feels unfair, because you deserve this version first. If I can meet you again just for 5 minutes, I'd probably spend all five saying thank you and sorry. I learned how to love because I lost you. I learned patience because I wasn't patient enough. I learned how to stay because I watched you leave. And every lesson I carry now has your name written on it. You were the heartbreak that turned me into a man. The day you said, maybe we should end this, I just stood there quietly staring at you, thinking you'd come back in a few days, like you always did before. You were waiting for me to stop you, waiting for one last embrace. But my pride back then was bigger than my fear of losing you. I thought love that deep could never truly end. I never knew some goodbyes are final forever. If I had held you that day, would we still be together now? If I had pulled you into my arms, would you have cried that much? I thought silence was harmless until I truly lost you. Then I learned some people leave forever the moment you stop trying to keep them. After the breakup, I finally remembered how sad your eyes looked that day. Not the eyes of someone who stopped loving, but someone exhausted from trying too long. Maybe you gave me too many chances, I just never realized it until the room became empty and our conversations disappeared forever. People usually regret, not because they loved the wrong person, but because they stayed silent in the moment they should have fought to stay. If I had held you that day, maybe things would be different now. Maybe these sad songs wouldn't remind me of you anymore. But life never lets us return to fix the moments we wasted. So even today, I still ask myself every night, what if I had held you that day? We had been together for so many years. Everyone thought marriage was only a matter of time. Friends from both sides kept asking, when's the wedding happening? I used to imagine our little home, quiet evenings with you and children laughing. I even secretly chose names for our future kids during the days I loved you most. I believed the person who held my hand the longest would be the one beside me forever. But sometimes time isn't enough to keep people together. I truly thought you'd marry me, thought we would build a family someday, thought the promises we made while young would eventually become real. But in the end, you were only the person who stayed the longest, not the person who stayed forever. And the saddest part is I was so certain about us. When we broke apart, everyone was more shocked than we were, because nobody believed two people who loved that deeply could still lose each other. I slowly erased the future we planned, even the baby names I once chose. Some dreams never even got the chance to begin before they had to be abandoned. Sometimes the person who makes you believe in forever becomes the one who teaches you that not every long love story gets a happy ending. I truly thought you'd marry me, so much that I never imagined another ending. Now whenever I see someone in a wedding dress, I only see pieces of my youth left behind. Oh, if someday you meet someone you truly want to marry, I hope you love her more carefully and never make her spend her youth waiting for a future that never comes. The ocean looked like gold that summer. California skies never seemed so blue. We spent our days chasing sunsets, like time would always wait for us. Windows down on the highway, your feet up on the dashboard, singing songs we barely knew the words to, laughing like we never grow apart. Back then, forever felt so easy. Back then, goodbye wasn't real. It was the last summer we had, the last summer you were mine. Every photograph still feels alive, frozen somewhere in time. We didn't know we were making memories, we thought we were making plans. Funny how the happiest season of my life became the hardest one to remember. September arrived without warning. The air got colder, so did we. Small conversations turned into silence, and silence became the ending. There wasn't a big explosion, no dramatic goodbye scene, just two people slowly drifting away like tides unsure. If I had known those days were numbered, I would have held them a little longer. It was the last summer we had, the last chapter before goodbye, the last time your hand fit perfectly inside of mine. And now every year when June comes back, I feel it all over again. The sunlight, the laughter, the heartbreak, waiting at the end. Sometimes I revisit old videos, hear your voice through tiny speakers, and for a moment you're still here, we're still young. And September hasn't happened yet. It was the last summer we had. Somehow it never really ended. A part of me still lives there on those warm July nights where love felt endless. And neither of us knew we were running out of time. Now summer comes every year, but it never feels the same. The music's loud, the lights are bright. Everybody's dressed up for the night. Champagne glasses in the air, laughter floating everywhere. Friends keep pulling me to dance, telling stories, making plans. From the outside I look alright, but something's missing tonight. I smile when the cameras flash, I sing along with every song, but there's an empty chair inside my heart where you used to belong. A room full of people, and I've never felt so alone. 100 voices around me, but none of them sound like home. They say this should be my night, another year, another candle, but all I really want is the one thing I can't have. A room full of people and no you. Someone brought a birthday cake, everybody shouted my name. I made a wish and closed my eyes, but wishes don't rewrite goodbye. The candles disappeared in smoke, just like everything we were. And for a second through the crowd, I thought I saw you there. Maybe it's the memories, maybe it's the why, but every celebration somehow still brings you to my mind. A room full of people, and I've never felt so alone. 100 voices around me, but none of them sound like home. They say this should be my night, another year, another candle, but all I really want is the one thing I can't have. A room full of people and no you. yet your absence fills the space. Every laugh becomes an echo, every smile hides your face. Another birthday passes by, another year without your touch, and all these decorations can't cover what I miss so much. The candles burn, the music plays, the crowd keeps singing on, but in a room full of people, you're the only one who's gone. Where are you? My birthday, miss you tonight. Not the same. A room full of people, know you. You're still here every day, still sending those familiar little texts. But the longer I stay beside you, the emptier my heart feels. There are things I no longer tell you, because I know you wouldn't understand. I act strong in front of everyone, then cry alone at night, healing myself. I used to think having someone to love would make lonely days easier, but the saddest loneliness is feeling alone inside a relationship. Don't love someone who constantly makes you feel lost. Even if they stay beside you, their heart was never truly with yours. Yes, I have someone I love, but I still heal myself alone, wiping my own tears, surviving my own pain, like I'm alone in this world anyway. You're not a bad person, you just never understood what I needed. I never wanted anything huge, just someone willing to stay when I felt weak. Some nights I cried for hours while you peacefully slept beside me. The worst distance isn't miles apart, it's lying next to someone who can't reach your heart. Oh, women eventually leave when they get tired of being strong for too long. No one wants to leave the person they love, they just don't want to feel lonely anymore. Don't love someone who makes you carry everything alone. Love is supposed to feel like peace, not another place that exhausts 5 years chasing city lights, sleeping less, working every night, telling myself it'd all be worth it if I could make our future right. You waited through the long weekends, the missed calls and canceled plans, while I kept building my tomorrow and forgetting to hold your hand. I thought love would understand if I just came back successful. Now I got everything I wanted, the penthouse view, the money, the name, but none of it feels like winning when you're not here to celebrate. The first person I wanted to call was the one I already lost. Funny how I pay for my dreams with something they can never buy back. I got everything, everything but you. Tonight my picture's on a billboard, downtown shining in the rain. Everybody thinks I'm living the life I always said I'd chase, but they don't know I still have your number buried somewhere in my phone. And every achievement feels a little smaller when you celebrate it alone. The city finally knows my name, but the one that mattered doesn't. Now I got everything I wanted, the penthouse view, the money, the fame, but none of it sounds as beautiful as hearing you say you're proud of me. The first person I wanted to call was the one I pushed away. Funny how success arrived exactly when you stopped waiting. Maybe love isn't something you postpone until life becomes convenient. Maybe some people are the reward and not the obstacle. So tonight the skyline looks amazing, the dream is finally real, but every light across this city only reminds me what it cost. I reached the top of everything and found nobody standing there except memories of you. At 21 we thought forever could survive on cheap wine and dreams. One mattress on a hardwood floor and late night talks about everything. We used to kiss in tiny kitchens, dance barefoot while ramen boiled. Back then love felt so simple, like the world can never touch us. But nobody warned us how fast life starts moving when growing up becomes surviving. We grew up too fast, rent got higher, hearts got tired, bills stacked up beside the sink, while silence filled the apartment. You stopped asking how my day was, I stopped noticing when you cried. Somewhere between overtime and stress, we forgot how to love each other. Ooh. Oh. double shifts on weekends. I stayed late chasing promotions downtown. We slept beside each other every night, but somehow still drifted apart. The fridge was finally full of groceries, but the laughter disappeared instead. Funny how we spent years building a life, or slowly losing the reason for it. Love doesn't always die dramatically. Sometimes it just gets buried quietly under exhaustion, routines, and all the things adulthood steals. Ooh. Now I miss those broke college nights more than anything money ever bought. 'Cause baby, we were happiest before the world taught us to worry. And sometimes I still wonder if we could have survived had we stayed young a little longer.